Guys, they messed up the drive panel. Now there's two options for refract trial. Now there's an option for refract trial instead. Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Mac. This is Limbus Company. We're just gonna look at the cool new stuff from the event before we lose it forever. Or I'm going to forget to get all of the Rhodian shards that I need. Wait, what is this? Thread skin used to weave facades of identities. Okay, so we need a little bit of Rhodian. We might need more Rhodian later. But I think I should give myself 40 Heathcliff just so I don't have to check in here. I have enough for his identity, but I might not have enough to finish uptying it. Or is it thread spinning or uptying? They really shouldn't have used two different terms.
알아, 오늘아 힘들었지? 여기서 잠깐 쉬어. 쳐다만 봐도 따스해질 테니까.
Do you think that Rhodian's Valencina ID will make use of the effervescent corrosion? Or if it won't be properly fueled and you have to find the resources elsewhere? Anyway, middle big brother.
그러니까 원한 살짓 하지 말라니까.
Do you think that it's Yehua? It's that realm's version of Yehua that's getting it, who's being a footstool? Alright, so if we look at your Zayn ego, heal 5% for 2 allies that have the lowest current HP percentages, apply 2 Scarlet Moths. Heal stack percent HP, minimum healed 1, lose 1 stack. So that means it'll heal 5, 7, 8% HP in total. Not much, let's be fair. Max stack of 3 though, I have to wonder if that means that I don't think this is an ego you want to spam. Let's just leave it at that. And corrosion will apply 1 Scarlet Moth 3 times between random allies. Zero identity level bonus, 22 minus 6. Well, on the upside, it does mean that they have to, that a 16 isn't the worst number to try and outroll. If this unit's leftmost base attack skill is Wrath or Lust, deal 30% damage of the damage dealt with its skill as its corresponding max affinity damage. If it's dealt the maximum possible damage, gain affinity damage up and disable the effect. What distinguishes moths from butterflies? Into the Sunset, gain clash power for all the bleed and burn, raise the base power. Heal 8% HP for 2 allies that have the lowest HP, and apply 2 Scarlet Moths. Heal additional allies equal to Lust Resonance minus 1, so that 8%, 10%, 11%. If the healed ally has equipped a Lust skill, heal SP on the said ally as well. Heal burn and bleed, raise the base power of Into the Sunset. I could use some thread spinning shards. 16 plus 8. Heal 10%. So it's a 13%. So it's a 13% total heal by that point. I think it's only when you try to use it 3 times in a row that you start losing out with your Scarlet Moths, but that's assuming that it's always healing the same allies. Current coin attack and inflict Wrath and Lust Fragility. Which actually would be handy for that special. The current coin attack end would give her if they have Wrath and Lust Fragility, then it's going to raise the damage she can deal with Wrath or Lust skills. Alright, but here's the really interesting one. Middle big brother, Heathcliff. So he rolls 2 plus 2. So his skill 1 deals just 8 damage. That's kind of pathetic. His skill 2 rolls 3 plus 4. His skill 2 rolls 3 plus 4 coins. That's 12, 15, not the worst. Apply 2 offense level on agile. Hang on. 3 aggro to this skill slot next turn. Inflict bleed and burn. Apply 2 offense level on allies adjacent to this unit on the dashboard. This skill gains highest resonance divided by 2 offense level to a maximum of 3, round it down. Gain 5 aggro, inflict 3 bleed and a burn count. Inflict 2 bleed, inflict 2 paralyze, and 3 burn. It's almost maintaining, but not quite, and I don't like that. Because there's no burn before the burn count. Gain 25% of missing HP as shield. He has a +5 defense level. That's insane. This is a +3, this is a +3, this is a +2. When this unit or any middle faction allies are hit by an enemy, inflict a vendetta mark on said enemy and gain a Book of Vengeance Heathcliff. Max stack 10. Consumed by certain skills or passives, take 2% damage from every middle. Take 2% damage from every middle ally. The unit that has the highest stack of this effect gains a Sibling Vengeance mark next turn. Counted separately from a Vengeance mark. Vendetta mark, Vengeance mark, Sibling Vengeance mark. If more than a single unit has the highest stack of this effect, target the one that has the higher HP percentage. On ally death, gain 3 Book of Vengeance. Combat start. Middle faction allies that have equipped defensive skills take -20% damage from unopposed attacks. At 4+ envy resonance, adjacent units to this one cannot be staggered by damage as long as they have usable counter skills equipped in their slots, excluding force staggers. At 6+ envy resonance, this applies to all middle faction allies. You know, I should have waited for 2 days to upload this one, because we want to see what he does to the hurting teddy bear, don't we? His sanity effects are the same as anyone else. Now, there's nothing new here, so Uptie. If target is 6+ burn and bleed, gain a coin power. On hit, lower user's stagger threshold by 5. That's interesting. If target is 6+ burn and bleed, gain coin power. Apply 2 offense level on allies adjacent to this unit on the dashboard. This skill gains highest resonance divided by 2 offense level to a maximum of 3 rounded down. Gain 5 aggro to this skill slot. Inflict 3 bleed and a burn count. Inflict 2 bleed, paralyze, burn. Combat passive unlocked. At 4 envy, gain 1 vengeance tattoo for every envy resonance to a max stack of 20. If an enemy attacked any middle faction allies, including this unit, use kicking on the enemy as an unopposed attack at attack end of said enemy's skill. Raises speed range from 3 to 5 to 4 to 6. Skill gained. My air coupons! Final power +1 for every burn and bleed on the main target. This skill gains highest resonance offense level to a maximum of 6. At 6 plus envy absolute resonance, gain an attack weight. Deal 30% damage for every excess attack weight beyond the number of actual targets, and focus encounters the part. Unbreakable bleed and burn coin, 10 plus 10. So that will actually be pretty decent for skill checks. 2 plus 3. He's now rolling an 11 on this skill, thank goodness. If target is burn plus bleed, coin power +1. Gain aggro to this slot next turn. Well, lower user's stagger threshold by 5, inflict 2 bleed and a burn. 2 bleed and a burn. Raise the base power to 4 so it rolls a 16. Offense level and allies adjacent to this unit on the dashboard. This skill gains highest resonance divided by 2 offense level. Gain through 5 aggro to this slot next turn. 3 bleed and a burn count. If any middle faction allies are killed during combat this turn, all middle faction allies gain attack power up this and next turn once per turn.
기억은 중요하지. 그러니까 죽으면서 새겨라. 나는 중지의 작은 형님 히스클리프. 지금부터 니놈들을 전부 처형할 사람의 이름이다.
This identity story has been very curious to me. Thought you could get away that easy, eh? I bring the suffering that was promised to you when you cast me into the world of the bristly. Bringing punishment to the thief who stole the child's hair coupons was a long and arduous journey. If all the child wanted was simply revenge, it would have been more efficient to rely on the element of surprise to capture and mete out the deserved consequences. But that simply would not do. Uncool solutions were not an option for the child. Heart-pumping electronic dance music, fully slicked back hair, flashy sunglasses still worn even in the dark of night. These were the hallmarks of a badass and cool entrance befitting a big brother of the middle, thought the child. Oi, Uptie, you the one who nicked my coupons? What the hell? I heard you still might be in pursuit, but you came all the way here for that, you damn stalker? Stalker? Mate, you seem to be under some grave misconception. Because going after a thief ain't the same thing as stalking someone. It's terminal audacity to think that, ain't it? Well, what else am I supposed to call an obsessed freak who chased me all the way across the city from Yukon, Great Lake? It gets to a point, man. Failure to recognize your own crimes, blatant lack of an apology or sign of remorse for stealing the victim's deserved lusciousness, insistence on contentious behavior. Looks like you're getting another line in the book. Eh? Oi, who added this already? This individual's violation was logged for later punishment in accordance with Title 6, Section 2, Row A. Yeah? Yes, because the individual's behavior met the specific conditions required to invoke the aforementioned article. But this bloke's... never mind. You did good, lad. Alright, let's get this back on track. The point is, you just bought yourself another line in the book. All this over a lousy hair coupon to a hair salon, you crazy bastard. I told you I'd pay you back for it, didn't I? Time and time again. I asked if we could make a deal, and you refused to listen every damn time. A lousy hair coupon, really? After knocking me, insulting me by assuming this grudge could be swept under the rug with bribery? A lousy air coupon? Searching for sections relevant to knocking. No, forget it. I think I can forgive that minor slight as long as he returns a little something. That air coupon you nicked from me. Hand it over. Get your noggin ready, because this ain't just about the coupon anymore. It's about the shame of having to show myself under the sun, day after day with a hairdo that has slid so far into the world of the Brisley. is about the desperation of wanting to hide under a cap and having to parade around my humiliation, because wearing a cap would have sapped even more vitality from my hair. All of that has coalesced into this simmering wrath as I journey to the east. And I haven't even begun my pilgrimage of loyalty to become a great brother. The only thing that'll put this righteous anger to sleep is to become luscious. That's right, you daft bastard. That air coupon you stole from me is now lusciousness incarnate. What I'm saying is that I'm generous enough to turn a blind eye to your minor insults as long as you return an object of significance back to my hands. So quit stalling. Cough it up. What if I said I can't even if I wanted to? What then? Art thou refusing what thou belongeth to the rightful owner? No, as much as it knocks me to admit it. That wasn't a refusal. Your hair, it's become luscious. The little sibling's eyes instantly darted towards the coupon thief's hair at the child's comment. The hair looked as though it would float and wrap gently around the hand when one combs through it with their fingers. Frankly, the subtleties of hairstyling weren't immediately apparent, but borrowing the child's vocabulary, the thief's hair must have become luscious. And the fact that such an elevated state was attained not by the child, but the thief, meant that... You little shit. Just stealing Big Bro's air coupons wasn't enough, huh? You just had to use it too, huh? Of course I did. Why do you think I stole it in the first place? I mean, just think about it in my shoes. There's really no point in getting a single line forgiven when I'm already deep in your book of vengeance. Get what I'm saying? And hey, I might as well go enjoy a nice visit to the private hair salon when I got the chance, since you're gonna come after me for the rest of my life anyway. Salon du Mollet, was it? Sure lived up to its name, huh? He must be mad. Was it wisdom or foolishness? The thief's name was indeed attached to countless number of vengeances in the book, which includes stealing from the child's safe, fleeing from the Middle's vengeance, and everything that happened between then and now. Like he said, getting a single vengeance forgiven wouldn't make a nick of difference anyway, because whichever excuse he had to give, it would end in his execution. He sure is awfully mouthy for a bloke about to pop his clogs. You lads reckon he's got life insurance or something? A single execution may not be a sufficient counterweight that negates the grudge. However, there exists precedent for a crime not entirely dissimilar to the one being currently addressed, in which the subject whose life was insured was killed over a dozen times to be rendered into a state of post-resuscitation, mental degradation, and punch drunkenness prior to complete and total extermination. Yet the villain doth persist in uttering such vile insults to our big brother. In moments such as this, methinks justice ought to be delivered post-haste. Going off great brother's advice, either way's decent enough. What's your take, Sinclair? How about tenderizing him half dead first? You'll have an easier time deciding what to do with him once he's too busy swallowing teeth to talk back. Yeah, I like the sound of that. Oh, that's... Perhaps the child was pleased with the suggestion, because he produced an adorably tiny sticker from the inside of his coat and pressed it neatly onto his little brother's book. Thank you, big bro. Alright, let's crack on with it then. Let's give him a proper thrashing before thinking about what comes next. You seriously think life insurance is what I'm planning to fall back on? You don't actually believe that I spotted you chasing me across half the city and just didn't bother setting anything up, do you? That sound... Something's closing in. Meursault, what time is it? It is currently 3:13 in the morning. The night in the back streets has begun. A tremor spread through the ground, drawing closer with every passing second. It was the sound of the sweepers flooding through the roads. For Backstreet's residents, a rumble on the road is familiar as the rumble of one's own breath. Still, there was something off about this whole situation. The entrance through which the child and his little siblings chased their mark looked hastily put together. and the thief was already sprinting toward another room. It didn't take long for the child to piece things together. His voice sharply cut through the air as soon as he realized what exactly the thief had in store. Grab that bastard now! Bollocks, I knew something about the entrance looked makeshift. Ah, too slow! Have fun getting swept away, dumbasses! They won't even leave a bloodstain behind once they're done with you. Fie! The wretched villain hath fled into the adjacent room. Our righteous fury shall smite through the door and... Nah, they ain't some hideout. That's a proper residential area. That cheeky half-pint used his noggin, didn't he? Looks like we're gonna have to hold out against the sweeper waves, big bro. Don't you worry your little head now, lad. Even if we get swept away by the waves, the middle will settle that scroll proper. Nobody walks away from the vengeance. The night in the back streets passed, as it always does. The thief stepped out from his building, bold and smug. He congratulated himself for this well thought out plan that finally shook the persistent stalker. No one can survive the tides of sleepers that consume everything and everyone in their path, he believed, not even the child. However, he seemed to have underestimated the child's tenacity, the unyielding doggedness of the syndicate that calls itself the Middle. You stalker freak, how are you still alive? That's it, then? All that prep, and you're already done. Shit, damn it! Look, don't kill me just yet. There's something you should know. What, that you weren't actually the one who nicked the coupon? Exactly, I'm not the thief. Wait, you already knew? Of course I did. That bloke in the security footage wasn't anywhere near as tiny as you, half-pint. Gives it away, innit? Been giving it a think, yeah? Whether I ought to crack your skull open like an egg, or just keep killing you over and over till this burning anger's spent and satisfied. Wait, I'll talk. I'll tell you everything, so please. It ain't my business finding out what bloody ties you've got to the real thief now. My lads'll dig 'em up soon enough. And you not being the thief makes no difference either. You've already gone and earned yourself a fresh grudge with me, with that little trick you pulled. Truth be told, I'm sick of this old mess giving me a headache. Got a pilgrimage of loyalty coming up, yeah? Proper nightmare, that labour. I'd rather clear out all the useless rubbish cluttering my path before I dedicate myself to it. I can help you. Let me ditch that fucking thief and work for you instead. That does it. You flapping your line, go bask in that lusciousness like you're the only one who earned it. That's about enough to get you and every last sod tied to you. Immediate and complete and total extermination. Yeah, that was definitely Ihua. Complete and total extermination! Skill gained. External effects cannot trigger this skill to be reused. Deal 1% damage for every 1% missing HP on self. Final power +1 for every burn and bleed on the main target. This skill gains highest resonance offense level. If the main target has a Vengeance mark, final power +3. At 20+ Book of Vengeance Heathcliff gain an attack weight. Deal more damage for every excess attack weight beyond actual number of targets. On kill, for every enemy killed using this skill, gain an ego resource of a random, least owned affinity. That'll be fun. Consume 15 Vengeance tattoos on yourself. If the target is staggered, deal extra damage, because it's already not overkill enough. Inflict bleed, burn, and tremor, then trigger a tremor burst and reduce the tremor count by 1. So it's going to make their stagger threshold go up by at least 5, unless they've got rotten resistance. Deal envy resonance times 7% of this coin's final damage as blunt bonus damage, to a maximum of 42%. So that's 6 envy resonance then. Kicking. If target has Vengeance mark, gain a final power. If target's a vengeance mark, heal SP. If target's vengeance mark, final power. Raise the coin power for my hair coupons. So he's hitting at the same power as, oh, what's it? He's got roughly the same roll range as Kia Ju, Lord Honglu's skill 3. It has a +5. Remind me, does this have... Yes, this is an offense level of +6. But yeah, final power for having a vengeance mark, attack weight at Book of Vengeance Heathcliff. For every enemy killed using this skill, gain a vengeance tattoo. Deal envy resonance times 5% of this coin's final damage as bonus blunt damage. 6 envy resonance. Combat start at 6+ envy resonance. Use my hair coupons skill as a counter from the leftmost skill slot twice per turn. Combat start, heal envy resonance +3 SP for 3 of the middle faction allies that have the lowest SP, including this unit once per turn, max of 10 SP, excluding allies at 40 or less. At -40 or less SP. This is actually really important because it means on turns where you turn everything into defense skills, then if you've got characters that keep using their defense skills, they're still getting their SP back. That said, envy resonance +3 isn't that high in number. Combat start, gain shield. At 15+ vengeance tattoos, replace a base skill with complete and total extermination, the leftmost bottom row on the dashboard. If the replaced skill is inaccessible due to being replaced by a different skill, activate once again. Change battle music until turn end, excluding certain encounters. Combat start in the turn that this unit returns. Use my hair coupons on a random target. Attack end of said skill. Apply offense and defense level up on all middle faction allies. The middle doesn't have a way to force people back out or in of the field. So, and the thing is, the one unit that can actually do that is Ishmael, who already has a middle ID, so maybe that'll be something we can expect to see later on. Oh dear, I left Discord running, darn it. But we're done, so until next time guys, take care, I'll see you all around.
별일 없었지?
이론대로 잘 만들었지만 강렬함이 부족하다.
No, not you. Here.
유화는 사람을 싸우고 싶어서 미치게 만드는 게 부작용이라. 알겠어? 모엘르다. 바로 옆에 있는 모델르는 미술학원이니까 괜히 들어가서 난장 피우지 말고. 돈은 내가 대줄 테니까. 알겠지? 머리하고 나면 내 이름 대고 도장 찍어. 난 보면 니네 다 거기로만 가는 거다.